Power does not always announce itself with a loud bang. Sometimes it shifts quietly in subtle cracks that appear when someone who once stood as protector chooses to speak without restraint. In South Africa, moments like these ripple far beyond politics. They reach homes, taxes, workplaces, and family discussions. When Jacob Zuma speaks about Julius Malema, people listen not out of idle curiosity, but because history hangs between those names. Years of alliance, rebellion, loyalty, and conflict shaped the weight of every word. This time, Zuma did not hedge. He did not soften. He said something that caught even seasoned political observers off guard. The question is not only what he said but why he chose this moment to say it and what the timing reveals about power in South Africa today. In this country, words from former presidents carry weight. They travel far, sparking debate and reflection. When political elders pull back the curtain, they force the public to confront truths, whether genuine or strategic. Many South Africans have witnessed this pattern before, and it rarely ends quietly. Zuma and Nima once shared a political space fueled by fire and ambition. Different styles, same intensity, one rooted in liberation-era authority, the other in radical youth politics. At one point they were not merely aligned but mutually useful. This is the nature of South African politics. Alliances are often practical rather than personal. Zuma's recent reflections on Malema carried more than rivalry. They carried memory. He spoke as someone who had observed Malema closely, not from the opposition benches, but from inside the rooms where decisions were made. That perspective shifts the meaning entirely. Across the country, reactions varied. Some nodded knowingly, believing they had long suspected this version of Malema. Others dismissed it as political bitterness. Yet, no one ignored it because Zuma did not speak like someone chasing relevance. He spoke like someone closing an unfinished chapter. The tone of his words was striking, calm, measured, reflective, not the language of an emotional outburst, but of a man choosing each word with care. In South Africa, such delivery signals intention. Malema rose through fearlessness and uncompromising boldness. Zuma, despite his controversies, understands political survival better than most. When someone of his stature questions your judgment, the ripple is immediate. At taxi ranks, in kitchens, in workplaces, the debate was swift. Was Zuma revealing truth or protecting legacy? Was Malema being challenged or inadvertently validated? In South Africa, perception often carries more weight than fact. There is a generational tension, too. Zuma represents a past many young South Africans feel has failed them. Malema claims to give voice to that frustration. When Zuma critiques him, it is like a father questioning a rebellious son, uncomfortable, compelling, and impossible to ignore. Analysts also noted something subtler. Zuma did not attack Malema's popularity. He questioned strategy, decision, and long-term consequences. That kind of criticism is not meant to destroy but to warn. And in South African politics, warnings carry history. Timing matters. Trust in leaders and institutions is fragile. When senior figures revisit old alliances publicly, it signals shifts beneath the surface. For ordinary South Africans, these revelations are not theater. Leadership battles affect service delivery, economic confidence, and social cohesion. Disputes at the top trickle down, influencing communities, investor confidence, and public hope. Zuma's words also reopen debates about loyalty. How long does political loyalty endure when power changes hands? And who defines betrayal? These are daily questions for citizens, not just politicians. What becomes clear is that this is about unfinished business. Zuma was not rewriting history. He was reframing it. Malema, whether he responds or not, is now cast in a new light, prompting South Africans to reconsider what they know about political friendship, ambition, and the cost of speaking too soon or too late. Political alliances in South Africa rarely remain fixed. Trust is fragile, and yesterday's ally can quietly become today's critic. Malema's rise has always relied on visibility and audacity, but Zuma's measured critique suggests boldness carries consequences that extend beyond parliamentary halls into communities waiting on promises that may never arrive. The subtlety of Zuma's phrasing is important. He did not directly question Malema's intentions but highlighted patterns, choices, and missed opportunities. In South African politics, this type of critique often has more lasting impact than open confrontation. At the grassroots level, citizens responded strongly. Some felt vindicated, seeing confirmation of what they had long suspected. Others worried that political infighting distracted from pressing issues like electricity, jobs, and housing. Zuma's commentary also raised questions of moral and ethical responsibility. Rapid political ascents are common, but reflection on accountability is rare. This tension between power and responsibility lies at the heart of the story. Malema supporters claim Zuma's remarks serve self-interest. Yet when former presidents critique current leaders, the nation is forced to engage. People question motives, strategies, and the country's direction. The exchange also emphasizes generational differences in leadership. Zuma's era contrasts with Malema's, making their dynamic symbolic of the broader struggle between old and new political approaches. Leadership disputes are not abstract. They touch communities. Families debate them. Workplaces hum with gossip. The intersection of power, influence, and perception is evident in everyday life. The unspoken message of Zuma's comments is that political ambition carries costs often invisible until revealed. These costs are not limited to leaders. They affect public trust, social cohesion, and daily interactions with government. Malema's boldness has served him well. Yet even the most audacious strategy has vulnerabilities. For ordinary citizens, this is a reminder that political maneuvering carries consequences far beyond speeches and rallies. Public reactions reflect this complexity. Honesty to some, manipulation to others. In South Africa, the line between candid insight and political strategy is thin. Timing, motive, and credibility are scrutinized intensely. The broader impact extends to opposition politics. Public internal critiques test alliances, force strategic recalibration, and reshape reputations. Communities feel the ripple effects. Distrust spreads, debates intensify, and political fatigue sets in. Zuma's critique also prompts reflection on institutional reliability, oversight, and citizen trust in leadership. South Africa's history of political clashes, broken alliances, scandals, and reshaped ambitions remind citizens that political memory matters. Today's revelations may set tomorrow's precedents, shaping the landscape of leadership yet to come. Ultimately, the story is not only about Zuma or Malema. It is about power, ambition, accountability, and the way decisions in boardrooms, parliamentary chambers, and private meetings resonate across communities. Leadership disputes have real human consequences. Zuma's words illustrate that influence is fragile, choices carry weight, and political memory endures. For South Africans, the lesson is clear. Politics is not abstract, and citizens are not mere spectators. Observing, questioning, and engaging in these conversations is essential. The evolution of Zuma and Malema's dynamic is ongoing, but the insights drawn today will shape how the nation understands leadership, loyalty, and power tomorrow.